Next up, in this little set of replays that we've got, we're going to decide to do ByuN versus PartinG. Starting with the bottom left, red Terran player ByuN. And at the top right, we've got the blue Protoss player PartinG. This has been a very aggressive little tournament. A lot of proxies. I mean, I guess you've got, PartinG involved, and that's always a guarantee. But then you've got ByuN proxying. Zest has been proxying. It's been a little bit of a proxy fest thus far. Been a little bit crazy, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is going to continue in this game as well, as we drop down a gateway on the bottom side of the map. So, again, just a little reminder as this game starts, in case this goes on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. This is series played a couple of weeks ago from the Brawlers Club number 2, an event by some drunk Canadian and Alpha X. We got the replays, cast them, as we've obviously got a slow week or two with DreamHack being on, so just cranking out some games for you all while the still DreamHack happens. So yeah, like I say, been fun. We've had some longer games, but a lot of the ones that we've cast, especially today, have been that little bit shorter, a little bit more aggressive and stuff. So yeah, it's been a bit of a day so far. So yeah, we did just come out of a bit of a longer game, but like, here we are again. Proxied gateway, ByuN is going to engineering bay block scouts the main. Sees no gateway, so at least now he knows. And because of the engineering bay block, you were never intending to actually expand that quickly yourself anyway, right? Typically, the engineering bay means you delay the CC, which does help you here. It doesn't speed up the process of getting units out, though. But of course, now with the scout, he kind of knows what's up, and he does at least get that bunker started as well. So able to get the bunker coming through. As another depot goes down, and continue to set off what will be perhaps a wall off in the near future once he starts the reactor. If he starts a reactor right now, he actually built another SCV, I believe. And he starts off another Marine. Now he lifts up and drops down the racks to build the reactor. Means the Zealot's actually trapped in here, so Zealot doesn't really have many options. It's actually going to feel a little bit tough because PartinG doesn't have any units across the map to stop this engineering bay. So this is going to be up and blocking for a while. His units across the map probably won't break through anytime soon. Now we drop down a Stargate and PartinG says, okay, time to be very aggressive. Let's put this Stargate down. Let's try and break up this ramp, and let's try and get something done over here. So that's a pylon down in the natural. It's going to be seeing the probe up here, nibbling away at the engineering bay. That's going to take a good little chunk of damage with the battery coming in here as well for PartinG. Macfield Accelerator coming through. Over on the factories again, that's sawed up as well as our Void Ray is a Chrono Boost now. It's about halfway along at the moment. Again, this probe of PartinG just continuing to nibble that engineering bay right now. Just getting this rolling through is obviously our Void Ray is going to pop. Macfield's on the way. Love how far back the factory is here from ByuN. You remember that TY PartinG game we casted about 40 minutes ago? Well, it's going to be very difficult for the same thing to happen. Basically what happened then was as Macfield got very close to finishing, PartinG just made a bust for that Macfield and killed it when it was about 70-80% of the way done. And that really just ended the game. But you can see this time all the things I was complaining about in that PartinG TY game, where this time you can see that ByuN has got the, Cyclone up faster, the Macfield Accelerator upgrade started a lot sooner. And these are the things that will definitely make a difference over time, as I love the Cyclone lock-ons at the moment. All the Cyclone lock-ons right now really do just put that damage out that drains this shield battery energy, so it really puts you into a little bit of trouble there. Across over here, this probe nibbling up this engineering bay and slowly giving PartinG a chance to maybe expand if he wants it. Of course, a fleet beacon coming through, we just missed this depot down. Fleet beacon coming through, allowing for that Tempest production. But I like where ByuN is at. I like ByuN's position a lot more than I like TY's position. If I had to make a judgment call right now, I'd even say this is going in the favor of ByuN. But it's the kind of style, it's the kind of game that can swing at a moment's notice. And PartinG is, in fairness, starting to get a little bit more done as well. ByuN's being careful. He gets lock-ons now. If he can keep these lock-ons, he'll get a Void Ray because of the Macfield. But he lost a Cyclone as well. So a Void for a Cyclone, I mean, it's not that bad. If you're cheering on ByuN, I mean, I'd say the Void Ray is maybe more important here. Obviously moving into Tempest now, so it's not like you continue to build those Void Rays. You don't have many of them left. Just this one to try and keep things going. So just don't want to try and keep this up, as we do see the Cyclones continue to gather in the main base. The barracks going to land down over on the side. Again, a couple of Cyclones locking on again, and they are going to kill the Void Ray off. As they come on through, the SCVs do not get a repair on that Cyclone, as the lock-on ain't good enough to kill the Stalker either, but at least he got rid of another Void Ray. Progress is being made by ByuN, but of course now PartinG has Tempest to work with as well, which is going to make life that little bit more difficult as well. So Tempest just going to sit here, slowly chipping away through the bunker. It looks as though ByuN wants to make a bust. He doesn't think there's enough here to actually keep him away from going to this low ground, and I don't really disagree, although going to lose a Cyclone already. The Viking goes down too, and now I actually think there might be a lack of units to actually fight against the Tempest, although the Tempest don't do a lot of damage output. They do a lot, but it's very slow compared to what you might expect. I mean, these batteries are literally healing up this pylon to keep them alive as long as possible. Don't tell me the pylon was going to survive. It goes down. New ones are going to start building, though. Don't forget that those batteries will regenerate energy even while unpowered, meaning that they actually, you know, for killing off these pylons, you've not really done much because now you're not capitalizing on the fact that the batteries are unpowered. In fact, this was just a whole bunch of units lost out here for ByuN, so has to be careful. There's 3 Tempests up. I mean, 3 Tempests is sizable. I'm going to start one-shotting things soon, and that's going to be absolutely terrified. Terrified? Terrifying. For some reason I have an issue with tenses today. And that's the magfield lock-ons you're looking for, and he gets himself a Tempest. Good job done by ByuN. I'm really trying to mix up all the words I want to say. He gets a Stalker too, and again, this is just going to be the duel. Oh no, that Cyclone goes the wrong way. Kaboom. Every Cyclone lost is really feeling major though, because you're getting to the point where the batteries have a ton of energy. We're getting to the point where we really don't have the damage output to out DPS battery healing. Especially with how many batteries there are, it's going to take a long time to get through that energy. And then, you know, you're just going to lose units in that time. So I'm a little worried that ByuN doesn't have the critical mass of units any longer here. And boom, Cyclone dies. Boom, another one is basically dead. And that's the issue. At this point, these Tempests are basically going to run the skies, and they're going to run this game. Another Viking down, and guys, I think might be on the road to a conclusion here in this game number 1 between ByuN and PartinG, because there ain't really too much left. You can see with 4 Tempests, the Cyclones do get one shot, and ByuN knows he's losing all the important units way too quickly for this to be effective. And he has to tap out the GG, give PartinG that game 1 victory. PartinG going up 1-0. And we'll take the lead in this series. So PartinG getting the series lead. Game number 2, we're going to kick off in the top left-hand side with the blue Protoss player who Void Rayed and Tempested his way to a game 1 victory. This is PartinG. Bow, 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 bow. I feel like he needs a little intro song. As in the bottom right-hand side of the map, our red Terran player from the Shopify Rebellion. Give it up if you're cheering on ByuN. Alrighty then, game number 2 as we get this started on up. And our SCVs are going to go building the barracks in the middle of the map. So first racks get started. A second barracks soon to begin, perhaps. Here we go. There we go. So 2 racks going down. ByuN, just gonna... It's kind of funny, right? You can tell a lot of these games are played in the same day. And the fun thing about this tournament as well is because obviously there's like 2 matches being played at once when this was played live. You know, the players don't really worry so much about, oh, did this guy watch me doing this to the other guy? You know, so they're kind of like, well, you know, I feel like this is my PvT right now. So we're seeing a lot of the same builds used against different opponents, which is actually pretty fun. It's actually pretty entertaining. It's been enjoyable so far. Have been enjoying it. I was going to see our second racks finishing. Marines continue to produce that orbital command from ByuN building in this main base. And, well, what a surprise. PartinG has a Nexus, but he is also going to have a pylon out on the map. So, let's see what ByuN can achieve as he comes in with his Proxy 2-Rex. In we go, making that move forward. Bunker is going to go down. Just going to see this probe pulling back around. I mean, obviously at this point, PartinG kind of knows what's up. He doesn't have a unit out yet, though. The first Adept is Chrono Boosting. This Bunker's actually going to have a pretty reasonable shot at getting up here. You can see the probes pulling in, but Marines are going to scare them off. Here comes the Adept. Needs to target fire down the SCV, really. If this SCV don't fall, you're in some trouble. Yeah, it's going to do it correctly, getting the probes to push the Marines back, and looks as though ByuN will just settle for the low ground. They got close, though, right? We're 8 seconds away from this bunker finishing. As the Marines do just work their way through that Nexus, so getting some good damage done. The Adept putting some damage out. Bunker taking some hits. That's going to be seen our factory. Continuing to build in the main base. Going to be finished up very soon. A gateway to be done over on the right-hand side, as we do just see our Nexus. Continue to take some hits from these few Marines. And there go the Adept, shitting out toward the center. Trying to figure out what they can do. Is again just going to have our few Marines continuing on the bunker there, continuing to work their way through that. Nexus should be down in a moment or so. So that was kind of an expectation. Here comes the counterattack, though. And how well does this do for PartinG? Well, bunker up, Cyclone ready to go. Obviously, the big thing here that ByuN never really found was all that probe damage that he found against Zest. So, as this counterattack shows up, ByuN Cyclone isn't ready yet because obviously PartinG wasn't delayed as much as Zest got delayed. And a couple of, well, A Rax makes its way back home. Looks like the other Rax is going to sit up. Actually, don't know where the other Rax is. Oh, sorry, it's up here in the main base. There it is. It was where I thought it was going to be, but for some reason I got myself tricked and confused on the bunker. So yeah, a couple of Stalkers and a couple of Adepts continue through. The Adepts are going to shade back toward the ramp as the Twilight Council is going to finish. Blink will start. And we do see the Siege Tank already on the way up, so it's about halfway done, and that Command Center builds over to the side. There you go. Cloak is going to begin from ByuN, but it is going to cancel. So a little bit of indecision as to what ByuN actually wants to do on a follow-up here. Waiting for a CC to come up. Still got PartinG contained up on the one base as well. This bunker finally goes down, freeing PartinG to get rid of this barracks and hence finally take the natural expansion. So PartinG again, really, freeing himself up, giving himself a good chance here, a good opportunity to get something done. As a few more Marines are going to continue out. Those couple tanks are still on the way in as well. And these few Stalkers and Adept going to continue through as well. That barracks is going to go down. More Stalkers making their way down. And again, Blink is going to be finishing up in the fairly near future for PartinG. So getting that completed. And our siege tanks are still in production. Racks and an engineering bay also on the way. Second racks in the main base also going to be finishing up shortly. Here comes this army of PartinG coming down the right hand side. So a good chunk of Stalkers coming through. The Sentry coming in as well. The one Adept is going to shade toward the main base where, I mean, Marines and a tank. Well, Marines and Adept pulling back a little bit. A couple tanks pulling back too. You still have the Stalkers coming back around this side, and there's that stim pack coming up from ByuN as well. More and more Marines all coming through. He has the tanks to really hold this position. I don't think PartinG should be able to bust this. Well, PartinG says don't care. Two tanks die immediately, to be fair, and this third tank on the high ground was not siege. If this tank was siege, imagine 2 or 3 extra siege tank shots on these Stalkers. They're a lot more battered and bruised. A few of them are dead. And maybe then the Marines really can continue to make the hold happen, but the way it actually plays out, not quite going to be the case, which is a little bit unfortunate. A few probes going down across the map as the Cyclone gets into action. 5 workers, and the Cyclone is surrounded and killed by probies. Marines coming through, killing off the hallucination. The other Stalkers get chased away to the side. SCVs and Marines all going in after that. There's a lot of SCVs going down. While it was good damage across the map, and you're kind of losing more and more SCVs over here. 24 probes to 21 SCVs, and that's the state of this game. Stimpack is not far from finishing, but it's a one-base ByuN until he retakes the natural. Stim just feels essential at this point. That one medevac will be important to get some healing on those Marines so they can justify the Stim. Sentry gets killed, the Stalkers blink back again, and just going to be seeing the couple tanks on siege and moving through. Another tank's going to finish up shortly. There is the orbital. Let's not moving down to that natural there. Oh, insta blink, insta kill on the siege tank. Nicely done. As we go moving up, the Stalker's going to be taking some hits. A couple of them going down. The rest of the Stalkers continue to move a little bit as well and see what else they can get up to. A Dark Shrine, building from PartinG back at home. I mean, just the fact he's got ByuN held on one base sort of, sets the tone for the rest of this game. ByuN kind of needs to make a breakout, but I think he's been a bit too reckless with the siege tanks now. Letting that one go down just then. The previous fight where one was on siege, he was kind of not confident about where he wanted to position it, and that led to it not being siege when PartinG made a blink. So maybe PartinG made the blink because he saw that on siege. So it really feels like ByuN's given PartinG some extra options here to get extra damage done. ByuN maybe has one fight in him, one push across the map maybe, but that's where the DTs are great. In a scenario like this where ByuN's desperate for economy, is he going to save scans, and is he going to save enough scans to really deal with DTs, especially if he wants to move across the map, right? Because, if you move across the map, you're going to need a scan pretty much permanently, otherwise you're never going to deal with the Dark Templar. I think that's where the issue stands. I don't know if there's going to be a strong enough moment here for ByuN to just say, right, let's go then. 2 DTs just warped in. It is going to be purely down to scans, and we've got energy for one. We dropped 2 mules just a moment ago. So if these DTs split up a little bit, that alone is going to be problematic. There goes DT number 1. DT number 2 is probably going to fall. No, 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 no! DT gets out of the scan range. Oh, disaster. Now you need an additional scan. Turret on the way up, but not sure we'll get the chance to finish. The other 2 DTs are going to go for the run by up into the main. Wall-off is not raised. Mistake there by ByuN. This is going to be the game end. They're going to kill off this siege tank. Then the Stalkers will continue to put in work on the low ground. SCVs are dropping down everywhere. And ByuN has no answer to the DTs in his bases and his mineral lines. PartinG picks up this series with a 2-0 victory as well.